Well, hello there, good people. It's your boy Johny-J, and welcome to another epic photo adventure. Come with me as we shoot this epic sunrise on this amazing cliff location. The light is about to fire off. I'm actually running really late here. Let me show you what's going on. We're at this epic cliff face and just down actually from my house. It's a really cool area. And you can see the cloud is all out this way. The sun's gonna rise over there. Not much happening out there right now, but as you pan around, this is what I'm looking at. I'm interested in this big headland. It's getting some front light here, which is really making the rocks look cool. But you can see out here, we've got the Venus's belt out there. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that's what's gonna kick on right now. Unfortunately, we didn't get the cloud that was predicted, but hey, it happens on the big jobs. All right, let me quickly get set up and show you what I'm looking at because that light is about to fire off. All right, so we're all set up here, pointing exactly 180 degrees away from the sunrise this morning. And you can see what I've got framed up here. Let me show you what we're looking at here. And I think it's okay, you know, like sometimes you just gotta think out of the box. You can't always be shooting where the sun's coming up because it's not gonna give you the best light or the best clouds or the best color. And I actually really like these pinky hue tones that you get from shooting away. They're actually really pretty. And it almost looks like there's a bit of a sea fog or a sea mist out there as well this morning. So it's looking really cool. All right, let's have a look here and I'll show you what I got framed up. Okay, so here you can see we've got this beautiful, big, bold headland in the right-hand side there. Okay, and then we've got this white edge of all this white water. There really is a lot of surf kicking around today. The waves are cranking. But the cool thing about it is there's absolutely no breeze, so it's nice and flat and calm. On top of the water, it's just the waves, so you're getting these beautiful rolling lines coming into the scene as well, which I happen to really like. So we'll try and catch one of those and see how that looks too. But composition-wise, you can see it is a bit right-hand dominated, but I don't mind it because we've got things to balance it out. You can see we've got a big diagonal line coming down from our big headland up here down to our anchor rock here in the bottom third. And we've also got some interest out there on the left is that there's that point that sticks out there. It's actually a surf break out there. It's a pretty cool spot. All the bodyboarders get out there. They absolutely love that spot. But what I want to do is to fill this area with a wave like that. That's going to be really important. And actually now's a good time to start shooting. So not too worried about focus. Focus is easy to this one, just focusing on a third. That foreground is way off in the distance over there, so definitely no issues with that. F8, ISO 100, at a 1/6 of a second at the moment. And you know what I might do? I'm actually gonna put it in continuous frames. So what I can do here is capture, I was gonna do 2-second timer, but I wanna try and capture those waves at a 6 there. So I think that might be close. Let's try it, even a 5th might be okay. Let's see, we're waiting for some swell to come in now and we'll see what happens here. Looking good in the hood. Oh, those hues are really kicking off out there. Yeah, I'm liking that little bit of movement. It's not crazy. Oh, it's nice down there foreground. Yeah, you can see that movement on the wave there as those frames come through. That's what I'm looking for. Just a little bit of movement out there. You know what, I'm just gonna go a touch wider because I think what I might do is actually add that framing rock down there in the foreground as well. You can see there's a bit of a rock down here in the foreground, a couple of plants. That actually might be nicer. Let's come down a little bit. You know, just tweaking our composition. Unfortunately, I can probably go a little bit higher there. Let's see if we can get some separation of that water over the edge there. That might be kind of nice as well. See if I can get a little bit higher. Oh yeah, okay, I've got that there now. Let's have a look at that. Actually, that is cooler. So that's given us a bit more foreground interest, but not only that, it's given us a bit of area off to the left-hand side here and more space out over here this way where the focus point is to get that wave. And we've got this nice separation between those rocks here. You can see lifting up that tripod has really made a difference to that. So let's just take a few frames of that. Oh yes, oh here we go, leading line, running down there. Yeah, nice movement, loving that. All right, but what I do want to check now, because I have these plants up close here, I just want to make sure that that foreground is sharp and we don't have to take an extra shot. And it never hurts just to go in and take a closer shot, just in case you have to focus stack that anyway. So let's have a look here. If I just play that back, I just want to make sure that everything is sharp off into the distance. I mean, it's still, that foreground's still about 2 or 3 meters away from the front of the lens there, so we're pretty far off. But what I might do, I might just grab a couple at that anyway. And then I'll move that focus point over a bit to here. And as those waves roll in, just got that continuous frame layer on there, and you can see we're getting those beautiful leading lines leading down the coast. Oh, I love when those waves break. Let's have a look back at that one. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Absolutely epic. So the thing we have to watch for now is to make sure our sky isn't blowing out. So the only control I've got other than ND filters is just changing my aperture, because I'm really liking that shutter speed. I could possibly go down to a 4th maybe. That's the control I've got. So really F10 now, just holding back that sky a little bit. You can see the histogram there. We're stopping it from flipping. Not too worried about those shadows there. You can open up those details in those foreground shadows there. But that's looking pretty cool. Really happy at that. Epic mix sauce. All right, here comes a wave. Let's get our frames going here. While this wave breaks into the frame. Oh, I kind of like that actually. That is cool. We're getting some good water movement down here in the foreground as well. Let's have a look. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely loving that. Everything's sharp there. Just checking focus again. Make sure we're right. Nice leading line. Oh, that is beautiful. Well, sometimes you just take the risk. You go out and you get the shot. So things are looking really good right now. I'm really happy how we're going. We've got the epic color. Oh, just a matter of waiting and seeing what happens. As that sun gets up, you know, those color tones are going to start to change. We're going to get more of the golden and the blue tones. And it's really about just seeing what happens over the next 5 or 10 minutes. Because I feel like I've got the first shot in the bag. Really happy. So a quick tip with this photography too, remember, keep shooting frames, because what we can do is that water movement's going to change every frame, obviously, Johnny, duh. But what you want to do is you want to keep shooting frames, and when you get a couple that you really like, you can easily blend those together, because we're not moving those tripod. We can blend that water movement together in Photoshop with layers of mask really, really simply, and create a unique photograph based on the different water movement in the frame. So once you're happy with the composition, yeah, just keep rattling off frames, and you'll find there'll be a couple of photographs where you absolutely love the water movement. You merge it together into one photograph, and that'll be your final image. All right, just gonna keep rattling off a few frames now, and just enjoy this, because it's really, really beautiful. That light, the Venus's belt back there is really holding on strong. Yeah, good times, man, good times. So as the light gets up and it's getting brighter and brighter, it's getting hard to hold that you know, 1/5, 1/6 of a second, okay, shutter speed, even at f16 ISO 100. So the only thing I can do is drop on an ND filter. So I've got this ND8 here, gonna drop that on now, and that'll just be enough just to hold that light back a little bit, just so, you know, I can keep those longer shutter speeds that I'm after. All right, let's pop that on and see what we're at. All right, so we've got that ND on now, and see, I can get down to f8 again. So I was stuck at f16, ISO 100, but with that ND8 now, I'm able to get the shutter speed down to 1/5, and it's looking really, really good now. So I can keep that 1/5 shutter speed for that water movement that I'm really, really enjoying. Still got f8, heaps of depth of field, ISO 100, low noise, but allows me to keep getting that longer shutter speed that I'm after for that water movement that I actually really, really love. I love that shutter speed. So now we've got the ND on, I just go through that process again. ISO 100, shutter speed 1/5, 1/6, which I'm really, really enjoying, and just close that aperture down to the point it's too bright, then I can add another ND, okay? So really, really easy. Really, really easy peasy. Oh, look at this water movement now. Epic. We're getting beautiful water movement up over the rocks. Oh, I'm actually really liking that. Oh, beautiful. This is lovely. While I think the sky was a bit prettier earlier on, the water movement now is just absolutely epic. Really, really happy that's turning out. Those last waves, oh, hang on a second, give me a second. Big waves rolling in, big waves rolling in. I've got to get this shot. While these big swells are rolling in, that white water's moving around like crazy, man. Oh, epic, epic water movement there. I'm really loving the movement up through that little gap down below. I think that's gonna look really, really cool. All right, here comes some big waves out the back. We might shoot for those big waves out the back now, those couple of leading lines. Really liking those coming through. And again, you know, I'm just gonna merge those different areas of water that I really, really like together to create my final photograph. I think we've lost the light now. That's pretty much the end of it. But I tell you what, that turned out really, really cool. Sometimes, even though there's no clouds, you just use a bit of creative thinking, using long exposures, shooting away, capturing that Venus's belt. And I think we've got something really cool here. All right, let's jump over to Lightroom and I'll show you how I put this one together. All right, so here's our final photograph here in Lightroom, and you'll see down the bottom of the film strip these 5 other photographs. So these are the original raw files, just with a few little Lightroom tweaks together, and these are the ones where I've chosen all the bits of water movement that I want to put together in Photoshop. So let's jump over to Photoshop and have a look at that. And if you see down the bottom here, if I turn these masks on and off, there's little bits of each one of these. I'll just turn that off. Little bits of each one of these photographs. You can see I've used that bit there, and then this one I use that bit of water up there, and then this one I use just that tiny bit of water there I'm turning on and off, and this one I actually use the water right along the channel there. And if I turn those all off, I'll leave that on, sorry. If I turn those all off, that was the original layer that we started with. I really liked this area out here, so I just used all these other ones to blend it together and easily come up with my final photograph. And this is with all the last tweaks, too many to go through there, but you can see these are all the last bits of tweaks and bits and pieces I've done in Photoshop to get it to this final photograph here. Alrighty, I've got these 2 layers here, and I just wanted to show you quickly how you blend them together. So you want to decide which one your base layer might be, and I might swap these around, to be honest. I think I prefer this one as my base layer, and we'll merge this one on top. And the areas I'm loving is this little area in here. I think that's the nice area to blend in. I love the height of this one, but I want this wash coming off the rock there, okay? So it's really, really simple. So I always recommend you do this. Look, there's a chance that you're on the tripod, things haven't moved, but you just never know. So I always recommend you do this step. So if we go up to edit, and we go down to here to auto align layers, and I just use auto. I don't worry about the removing vignette and that. And we'll just do that just in case something's moved. Look, they were pretty good, those ones anyway. And then you can turn the layers on and off, and you can see the rocks aren't moving, but the water's moving. So everything's nice and aligned there. Then all I want to do is select the top layer. I'm going to hit the masking button down here, the little square with the circle in it, and we get our layer mask up now. Now Control I or Command I is going to invert that layer mask and turn it black, okay? So we want to hide this top layer. You can see this is our top layer with the mask on it, but if we now invert it, it turns black and it's hiding that top layer. You can think of this like a black piece of paper in between these two layers, or on this top layer here. And it's basically blacking that one out. So if I turn that on and off, it's not going to do anything because all we're seeing is the bottom layer now, okay? So I'm going to hit B for the brush tool, and I want to start, you know, with something, you know, 40, 50%, small brush. I'm just going to zoom into that area. I like a feathered brush. I'm just going to zoom into that area there. If you're not sure exactly where it was, if you click your mask, you can disable the layer mask, and that'll show you that bit that you want to brush back in, okay? So I'm going to right click it again and say enable layer mask, and all I'm going to do with my brush, just going to take my time here and just brush in a bit of that section. That's it. I'm just brushing a bit of that movement there. Oh, I love that. Bring in that waterfall bit there. That's really nice, liking that. That's cool. Maybe bring in a bit more down lower. And that's it. And you can see how natural that looks when you zoomed in like this. It even looks perfectly natural. But if we zoom back out now, and I'll just show you that. If we turn that on, off, on, off, there you go. We've just blended that layer back in really, really easily. How cool is that? It's so cool. And then you just go ahead and build out your whole frame with the different parts that you want to merge together for your final photograph. Really, really cool. All right, back in Lightroom now, and here's our final photograph. I love it. I love the contrast. I think things are looking really, really nice here. Given we didn't have any clouds, we still come away with a really interesting photograph, and I just love the movement. I think it's the movement to me that really makes this photograph stand out. I love these lines coming through, filling that area, giving an interest up in there, which was really, really important for me. And that lovely magenta-y hue tone in the sky, I think, just finishes things off nicely. Alright, good people, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed another epic photo adventure. So happy how that final photograph turned out. Super cool using layers and masks to blend those different water movements together. And as always, if you're not subscribed, please do. My goal is 1,000 subscribers, trying to get there, and I need your help. So please do hit the bell button for notifications. And if you're loving these videos, please drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of that technique and the final photograph. Give me a thumbs up, and I would much appreciate it. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.